Hey there YouTube, my name is Gracie, welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to make a video in regards to codependency and how it can ruin one's life. So I decided to talk about this topic today because I was just remembering one of my friends and how he ended up befriending a coworker who was there to pretty much ruin his life, but he wasn't able to see this because she masks herself. She uses glamour spells and she pretends to be this Queen of Cups. If you know tarot, you know what Queen of Cups is. This sweet, loving, gentle person. Matter of fact, all the women in his life who are very evil and satanic pretend to be very nice people, and he's not able to see through the illusion, and he falls for that. You know, they pretend to be caring, loving, nurturing, and because he does not have self-love for himself. He seeks for love from other people. He falls for these traps. So I remember trying to get him off of that path. Wake up, do not go there because this person is fake. This person is actually here to destroy your life. Because I'm 10 steps ahead. I could see who this person was. A lot of people couldn't see through this person's glamour spells, but I could see her true face. I always see this goblin like Fiona. You know how Fiona looks like from Shrek? Goblin like Fiona face whenever I look at this girl, and I'm like, ew. I can see it, but other people can't, right? And the security, some of the security members at the university, at York University, were able to see through her, right? Because they're also awakened and they can see through the BS that other people can't. And I knew that this person would like lead to this to my friends. At that time, that was my friend, right? So I would say at that time I knew that you know, that person will cause my friend's downfall, right? And I try to warn this friend of mine, do not head that way. Avoid this person. But he was like, no, she's a sweet person. Oh, she's spiritual, you know. And she would use brainwashing techniques and she would do spell work behind his back. But in his face, she'll pretend like she's this holier than thou woman. She reads the Bible. She's all about God. And she only delves into like spirituality, but she's a Satanist behind the scenes. So, yes, the topic, the topic of this video is in regards to codependency and how we can ruin your life. Um, my friend was codependent on this woman, right? Because this woman would promise him, oh, I'm going to help you make money. This woman was actually trying, because I was supposed to be working with this friend of mine, right? I was supposed to, it was a student and teacher, relationship. I was supposed to teach him about life, self-love, pretty much, help him heal his trauma, right? Because as a child, he suffered from certain childhood traumas that, hinder him from succeeding, right? I mean, he's a successful person, but he could do more and he could do better in life if he had if he healed most of his trauma, right? So she knew that, and she knew that we were supposed to take that knowledge, the knowledge that I would teach him, right, and help others heal, right? And that way he would, he would have another career apart from the career that he has that would, you know blossom, like bloom, whatever you want to call it, that word. I don't know, ever since like I graduated I'm forgetting words. but yeah, then he would become very successful. So she wanted to steal my role, right? And so she pretended to be all spiritual, and believe me, there are people out here who are very jealous who could try to replace other people, right? And they're in competition with you 24/7, but it's like, honey, you can't compete where you don't compare. But whatever. Since a lot of people, narcissistic people, she's a very narcissistic person. I'm delusional. I just let it be. I was like, whatever. I mean, I'm not even going to look at you like you're not even worth my time, right? So at the end of the day, she would try to force herself on him, and I was seeing what was going on. She would, whenever he's staying at his office to do work, she would lock herself up in there with him. Like, she was very, You know, the girls in Toronto are very slutty. They're very whorish. Like oof. And it's funny because they want to spread rumors about you, but they don't even see you with anybody, right? And it's like slander your name, oh, because you're the beautiful one, so you have to suffer from it, pretty much jealousy and lies. But this is the person who does this sort of things, trying to force her coworker, her boss, onto her. Like it's like I'm not even going there. Whatever. But at the end of the day, she was setting him up, right? Because everything she was doing in there, she would actually, whenever, if she doesn't get her way with him, right? She would actually turn it around and use it against him and blackmail him, right? Little did he know that he would be blackmailed because, he had fallen for her. It was a trap. It was all a trap. So this is a word. Let this be a lesson to all of you men who go to work, seeking for this, what do they call it, work spouse, what do they call it, the work wife. These women out here, they're snakes. And it's funny because I'm a woman saying this about other women. I do not roll like most of these women, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than most of these women out here. You need to be careful because it's just not only to women. There's also men out here who play these games too. A lot of snaky ass men and snaky ass, I call them snaky ass women, snaky ass men, right? And so at the end of the day, if she was not going to get her way with him, she would end up trying to ruin his reputation with all the things. Because, she would text him and they would text each other and stuff like that. She got so close to him, she would call him my best friend. He's my bestie, yes. Oh, we're best friends. I'm your well wisher. When the whole time she was setting him up. Yeah. And this girl committed a whole lot of fraud, but she pretends as if it's him and they were working in cahoots, right? But yeah, just be careful. Codependency is something you can avoid. When you find self love within yourself, I will never stop talking about this self love because self love is the key to your fucking success. I mean, it's a whole long journey. I could give you all the information on what you need to do to find self love, but it's not something that you would achieve overnight. It takes at least a good 10 years to complete that journey. Anyone that has gone through the self love journey or the spiritual healing journey, 10 years. It takes 10 years. The most is, well, the minimum 10 years. It's a long journey, and that's the reason why a lot of people do not want to heal themselves. They just want to keep running around because they're like, who has all that time? But at the end of the day, it's worth it because you avoid stupid situations like that, where your whole reputation will now be ruined all around town. You can't stand up for yourself because you don't know how to be an individual. You're clinging on to people who are setting you up. That's a consequence. And it's very detrimental. So it's better to do the work, to sacrifice and do the work, right? As opposed to being, you know, your reputation being ruined in the end and facing all this embarrassment and humiliation when truly it was that other person, right? That set you up the whole time. But karmics, they get away with a lot. What they do is they transfer their karma onto you, right? You are the innocent one, but they'll set you up and you will carry their karma. Because all those embarrassing things, those are things that were supposed to be her, the karmic, right? But I mean, it takes two to tango, right? So at the end of the day, I just cannot blame the karmic herself, right? Yeah, so that's all about the codependency and how it could ruin your life. Yeah, I had to use my friend as an example because I was just thinking about that today. I was like, wow, this could have been avoided, but due to codependency, people end up in demise.